Hello, welcome. My name is Kristina Body. I'm here today in this practice to talk to you about, or teach you, about how to expand your capacity for stress. And also how to remove the stress that is built up inside your body over the years. And this is done by utilizing your oxygen pump. So really running the engine and running oxygen throughout the entire body. And we're going to do this by utilizing the diaphragm. And the diaphragm, I like to consider the master muscle. It is the muscle of all muscles because it connects our central nervous system, so our mind. What it does is the diaphragm is connected to a nerve that induces a calm state. So just by breathing into the diaphragm, we can calm the body. But what it also does is it connects our mind to our body. And if you notice, our limbs are kind of centered and rooted deep into the diaphragm. So the diaphragm has a big job. It connects our mind and body, it calms our mind, it calms the body, and helps us to control our movement and build strength and power in our movement. So to train the diaphragm, we need to utilize breathing patterns, which is a little bit different than movement. But just like the body, our diaphragm desires to have mobility, strength, and power. And today we're really going to be talking about mobility. And mobility meaning how much space can I create inside of my torso via breath, via expanding my lungs, which is ultimately how we activate and use the diaphragm. And so today I want to find our current capacity. So we're just doing a little exploration of the breath and assessing the breathing patterns that we currently have. So I want you to go ahead and sit in a comfortable position. If you need to sit on a pillow, please do, or even sit on a chair if sitting in a cross-legged position is uncomfortable. But we want to make sure the spine is up nice and tall. And I want you to begin by closing your eyes. So we're going to begin by taking 3 deep breaths in. And so when we take these 3 deep breaths in, what I want you to notice is what part of your torso fills first. All right, so go ahead and close the eyes. And I want you to take the deepest breath in you can. Like this is the last breath you're ever going to take. So deep inhale. And then I want you to exhale it sharply out the mouth. We're going to do 2 more. Again, noticing what fills first. Take a deep breath in. And exhale. Good. 1 more. Deep breath in. And exhale out the mouth. Good. And now I want you to keep the eyes closed. And again, taking note of where the breath filled. What did it fill into your chest first? Did your shoulders raise? Did your belly expand? What naturally and automatically happened? And we're going to continue for just maybe about 30 seconds to keep the eyes closed and to naturally watch the breath flow in and out. How is my breath on autopilot working for me? So go ahead and keep the eyes closed. I'm going to begin the 30 seconds now. And just slowly breathing in and out through the nose. Try not to judge where the breath is going. Just begin to take notice. And now I want you to go ahead and take a deep breath in, big inhale, as big as you can, and hold the breath, suspend it. And when you hold, relax your face and your shoulders, and then gently exhale out the mouth, release. Good, and then we're going to slowly open the eyes. So now, if your breath kind of went into the shoulders and into the chest, that's okay. What that means is that your body has kind of auto-attuned to its environment. So whenever our body perceives stress, our mind or our environment, then our breath kind of goes up into our chest. So it's sympathetic or fight or flight breathing. And so because your breath is naturally in your chest without you even thinking about it, that means your body is kind of auto-attuned to stress. And so what we're going to do today is bring back the original breathing pattern that we were born with. So the breath is like a spectrum. The higher my breath is into my chest, the more stressed I am. Which is kind of why we sigh when we're stressed, right? Or when we're working out really hard, we breathe into our chest. And then everyday life, we should be breathing into our diaphragm. And then if we really want to calm the body down, we need to breathe deep into the torso. So the deeper that we breathe into our torso, the calmer our body will be. And when we breathe into the bottom part of our torso, we are also breathing into the base of our lungs. And the vessels that are in the bottom of the lungs, right, are the most vascular out of all of the nodes that are in our lungs. And so it's really important to utilize the bottom of the lungs to pump oxygen through the body. So I want to practice breathing just into the belly. So how calm can we make our breath? So I want you to place your hand below the belly button. And I want you to just take a really sharp exhalation out the mouth. So, right, do that a couple more times. And you're going to notice that the belly button presses up and in. So it's forcefully exhaling the air out. It's kind of like on autopilot. Autopilot, when we cough, or you also feel that belly button press up and in. This is our diaphragm being used to, again, expel air out of the lungs. But I want to be able to do this manually. So let's take the breath into the lower part of take the hand into our lower belly. And let's try to breathe into the hand. So take an inhale, expand the belly out as much as you can, and then exhale. Squeeze abs as tight as you can. Inhale into the hand, and exhale. So we're going to go ahead and practice this for 1 minute. And what you're going to find is some people, you may find that you're not able to breathe into the lower hand, and that's okay. The breath is probably stuck up into the chest. So we're just going to take a minute to try to bring the breath down into the deepest part of our torso. This is going to take time because some people are so used to breathing up here. And if you can easily breathe into your lower belly or your torso, that's great. That's awesome. You are now able to really find the deep calming effects of the deep breath. So there's something here for everybody. So go ahead and close your eyes, and we're going to take a minute, and we're just going to breathe into that pelvic bowl, into the deepest part of our lungs. I'm going to begin the time now. So again, taking a deep breath, keep the hand over the belly, inhale. Picture filling the lungs up like balloons. And when you exhale, try to engage all the muscles of the core to press all of that air out to the lungs. Good, inhale. Remember filling up the spine all the way up to the collarbones if you can. And exhaling from the top down. Relaxing the face and shoulders. Keeping that chest up nice and tall. Good, and deep inhale. And hold the breath. Nice, and keep holding, Relax the face and shoulders. And exhale out the mouth, release. Good. And then you can go ahead and slowly open the eyes. So you may have noticed that throughout the minute, the breath may have moved a little bit deeper into the torso. You may have felt that really calming effect if it was already down there. And if you weren't able to bring it down to the torso, that's okay too. You're just going to take a little bit more time. Now I want to work on that exhalation, that forceful contraction. And what the diaphragm does is it helps us to engage the core with an exhale. And this is a really important part of your yoga practice or any other activity that you do, because the more power you have in your diaphragm with your exhalation, the more power your limbs have in any activity or sport or yoga practice that you participate in. So hand over kind of above the belly button now. And we're just going to exhale out the mouth sharply and then try to inhale into the hand. Good. So inhale naturally into the hand, exhale sharply out the mouth. We're going to do this for about 30 seconds. All right, go ahead and close the eyes. And I'm going to begin the time now, and I'll kind of keep a pace for you. And keep going at your own pace. If you need to take a breath, please do. Almost there. Good. Now let's take a deep inhale. Filling the lungs as much as you can. Hold the breath. Relaxing the face and shoulders. And exhale out the mouth release. Good. Keep the eyes closed here and just naturally watch the breath flow in and out. And notice that, is it feeling a little bit lower than it was before in the beginning of the class? Again, notice, are we changing where the breath is in the torso throughout this practice? Now I want you to slowly open the eyes. Good. And now what I want to do is, maybe we've found some space in our torso, maybe we haven't. But I want you to be able to find that space in every position. And if you haven't found the breath into the belly in this position, maybe you'll find it in these other positions. So we're going to go ahead and get into child's pose. And we're going to go ahead and bring our big toes together, our knees out, making a V, right? And we're going to extend our arms out in front of us. Let's bring our head into the mat. And what we want to do here is trying to breathe into the deepest part of our torso. So I want the breath to go almost into my tailbone. And we're going to sit here for about a minute, maybe a little bit more, depending on how I feel. And I want you to try to expand the belly in all directions, not judging where it is, where you are now. But just really trying to fill up the lungs as much as you can. Again, thinking of them as balloons, right? So getting into child's pose, I'm going to begin the timer now. And I want you to even, if your mind wanders, I want you to kind of count the seconds of the breath. And you kind of do a little check. How many seconds can I inhale and exhale? 4 seconds, 5 seconds in, maybe 10. Maybe even 20. And that exhale, is that exhale just as long? So again, keep breathing into the very base of the spine, all the way up to the collarbones. And then exhaling slowly, all the way from the top, squeezing all those abs all the way to the base of the spine. And let's take a moment here. Almost there. Take a few more breaths. Trying to expand the breath in all directions each time. You should feel it extend into that lower back. Feel that rib cage expand. Good. All right, so now let's just take a deep breath in. Lightly hold the breath. And exhale out the mouth. Good. Now we're just going to slowly come up out of child's pose position. And if you can, sit on your heels. We're just going to sit on our heels for just a moment. Take a second. Close the eyes. Maybe notice, again, another change in where the breath is. Is it a little bit lower into the torso? Maybe it's not. That's okay, too. Now we're going to try to find that same movement of the belly onto the stomach. All right? Again, finding it in all directions. So let's go ahead and lay on the ground. You can place your head on your hands. And what I want you to do is I want you to take an inhale into the belly button. So you're inhaling and pressing the ground away from you with the inhale. So inhale, you're going to feel that stretch or that inhale go into the back and press into the floor. And when you exhale, I want you to exhale, squeeze the abs as tight as you can, engaging the core, pulling that belly button off the ground. Deep inhale into the belly, expanding that lower torso in all directions. Exhale, squeezing those abs as tight as you can, pulling that belly button off the ground. We're going to take a minute here. Good, almost done. A few more breaths here. Make sure that exhale strongly engages the abs, pulling that belly button up to the spine. Make sure that inhale really relaxes that belly button out, expanding in all directions. Now let's take a deep breath in. Hold the breath. Exhale out the mouth. Good. Let's kind of wiggle those hips side to side, shaking it out. And now we're going to come up onto our forearms. And we're going to get into Sphinx pose. So my elbows underneath my shoulders. My fingers are spread wide. My chest is up nice and tall, and I want to press into the ground with my hands. So I'm really pulling that chest forward. And I don't want my shoulders up on my ears. I want to press them away from me. So really engaging the back here. And now we're going to take a minute to breathe here. So we want to find comfort in this back extension. And so when you're doing your yoga practice and you kind of find discomfort in this movement, this will help to release some of that tension. So we're going to close our eyes so that we can make sure that we're not getting too much input from the external environment. We really want to keep that awareness inward. So closing the eyes will allow us to kind of shut off the external world and really focus on what's going on within our body. So eyes closed, and again, just same thing, breathing into the belly. Inhale, bring the belly button towards the floor. And when we exhale, I want to squeeze those abs in as tight as I can. Inhale into the belly. And exhale, squeezing those abs. Good, keep going. Minute starts now. Make sure that your shoulders do not drop up towards your ears. Really stay strong, pressing into the ground. My arms are active, but my breath is calm. And just breathe here. And keep going, almost there. Keep those arms strong, press those elbows into the ground. Shoulders down the back, chest up nice and tall. Breath is calm. And now let's take a deep inhale. Reach that chest up to the ceiling. And exhale, let's lower down onto our stomach, head onto our hands. Just take a moment to naturally watch the breath flow here. All right, so now we're just going to slowly get up from the ground, or up from our stomachs, and then we're going to get onto our backs. So this is kind of our closing pose here. You should feel calm, relaxed. Maybe you want to take a nap. It's good. It's a good thing we've activated that parasympathetic system, or that rest and digest system within our body throughout this entire practice. So let's go ahead and lie on our back. Our feet are going to be flat on the ground, and our hands are going to be nice and laid next to our side. And I just we're going to do the same thing. Breathing into the belly here. We're going to inhale. We'll raise the belly button up to the ceiling. And exhale. I want you to press that lower back to the ground. Good. And make sure, and try not to let the chest rise here. So inhale into the hand, or you can place your hand, on your stomach if you need to, but inhale into the belly. And exhale. Engage the core. We're just going to take about 30 seconds here, and beginning now. So eyes closed. Again, just focusing on expanding the lower part of the lungs in all directions. And throughout this practice, you may have noticed that you find that every exhale, you may feel engagement of more of the abs, or you may have discovered an ab muscle that you didn't know was there before. Each time we are able to connect and exhale with the core engagement, we deepen our awareness of the core and further activate these muscles so that they can support our spine and support all of the muscles that are surrounding it. A few more breaths here. Good. Now let's take a deep inhale. Hold the breath. And exhale out the mouth, release. Let's go ahead and bring the knees into the chest. Kind of making some space for the belly. Let's rock the knee side to side. Rock the lower back side to side, massaging it to the ground. And then let's just extend our legs out into everybody's favorite pose, Shavasana. Shoulders down the back, palms up, toes to the side. And now, without any effort, let's just observe the breath and notice if it's any different from the beginning of the class. We're taking a minute here. And let's just slowly come back to the body. Take a deep breath in and sigh out the mouth. Let's go ahead and reach our arms up over our head, extending in both directions. Stretch it out. And let's just go ahead and roll over to one side. Go and take that top hand and press ourselves up to a seated position. Good. All right, so with this practice, I hope that you found a deeper awareness of where your breathing patterns are at the current moment. And if you had proper breathing patterns, I hope that you were able to at least calm the body and take a moment to pump some oxygen through your body. And these individual exercises can be practiced at any time, any place, whenever you feel that you are too stressed or just short of breath or need some oxygen. Thank you for joining me today, and I will see you next time.